Hey graphics class, I'm going to show you real quick how to do the out of bounds project. To do this, make a brand new canvas here, and what we're going for is something that looks like this. You're going to have two of them. So there are a few good Google sites. You could Google out of bounds projects, go to images, but something along the lines of this. So we're going to create the two Polaroids and then also the pictures that pop out of it. So I'm going to show you on Photoshop here how to make the Polaroids. You want each one to be on their own layer. So I'm going to start by making a brand new layer and then going up to my rectangle marquee tool and then creating a rectangle. Now, if I were just to fill this in, it would be a solid shape. So to get the Polaroid effect where the middle is hollow, what you have to do is hold down the Alt or the Option key, depending on what kind of computer you're on, and then draw out that middle section as well. So it looks something like that. And then you want to fill in this with pretty much any color you want to. I kind of do like an off-white. And then take your paint bucket and fill it in. To get rid of the marching ants, you want to press Apple D or Control D, and then I want to put a bevel and emboss text effect, which we should all know on here. So on this layer here, I'm going to go down to bevel and emboss, and then add that on there. You can mess with your size and soften on there to get it to look good. And then you're not quite sure which way your things are going to pop out of there yet, but at some point you're going to have to use Control T or Apple T, and then just like the third project where we made the tattoos go back and forth, hold down Apple and make your Polaroid go into a certain direction. So I'll do my first one like that. You can do a brand new one on a different layer. I'm going to choose to use Control or Apple J to duplicate it and then bring it over here. And then I'm going to use Control T and right click in the center and then flip that so it goes the other way. And you don't want to have a lot of white space. You can resize these and kind of make them to be the majority of your screen. So now I have these two things here. And next what you want to do is find your images that are going to be interacting with each other or coming out of the Polaroid. So I will try to find like an NFL player laying out for a pylon. We'll go Jordy Nelson and look for one here. So under images here, you guys all know how to look for images here. So feel free to fast forward until I find one, but I'll search large. And then look for, there used to be some good ones here. Some action shots. Okay, I'll just pick this one here. So what I want is probably to have this front half coming out of the Polaroid. So what I'm going to do is actually place that on Photoshop how I want it to look. Control V is your paste, and then place that on there. If I were to bring my Polaroid above that, you can see how it would look here. So what I want to do is get rid of everything I don't want. So I don't want this background, I want this stuff on the outside. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to use the polygonal lasso tool, and I'm going to click and erase around this stuff right here. Apple D to get rid of your marching ants. I'm gonna have to go back in and get this a little better too. But here it is. So I bring this back up to the top. I still have some stuff going on here. we're gonna actually go back to the first steps that we learned by making the Polaroid. What I want you to do is go on the actual Polaroid layer. So not the Jordy Nelson layer, the actual layer of the Polaroid. And I want you to take the magic wand tool, which we learned, and click in the center. If I were to press delete right now, if I go back up to the Jordy Nelson layer and press delete, I'm deleting the inside of it. So I want the opposite to happen. So what I would do is right click in the middle and go to select inverse, and I would press delete, and then everything else would delete except that. Well, you see what I messed up on there. I actually want Jordy Nelson to, the outside part to stay too. So I'm going to go back and do that again. On the Polaroid layer, take your magic wand tool and click in the center so you get this white shape in the middle. And then what you can do is, we held Alt before subtract. To add on, you hold Shift. So I'm going to take the polygonal lasso tool, hold down Shift, and I'm going to cut out Jordy Nelson. And I'm not zoomed in very far, so you should be going through and cutting it out very carefully. I'll just kind of go quick here so you can see how to do that. And then after you have that cut out, you still repeat that same step there with the right clicking in the middle and then select inverse. So I have the shape here, right click, select inverse, make sure you're on your Jordy Nelson layer, press delete, and now you have the effect of the image popping out of the keyhole. Definitely go back and zoom in and clean up the spots that should still be erased. But now you can do the same exact thing with the other one, and then just for good measure on the very, very bottom, add a background picture. You can lower the opacity on that or do whatever you want to, but that is how you